Hello users, welcome back to the Consulting Detective Network. Roottreemania of the Roottrees are dead, and me and robotspacer are continuing our attempts to solve Roottreemania. We finished last time, like, oh, we only got 2 left, we'll be fine. We can do this.
It seemed like we were so close.
And then they came in like, hey, we don't know that we trust the law firm that we've been working with, and there's a bunch of real weird stuff. We need you to figure out if these people, despite everything you've already found, are actually Roottrees or not. And what's worse, right after we ended stream, I was still on the scene and scrolled up, and we also have to confirm that for some previous people that we had confirmed as well. I can't imagine there's much more than this, but I've been wrong twice before, so we'll see.
So we have to mark everyone as confirmed Roottree, definitely not a Roottree, or there's not enough evidence to be sure.
Who can say is basically the equivalent. So this will be interesting. They did, you know what, hold on. Let's just switch to the scene. We can talk about it in the game. They did give us some additional tools to work through that.
Yes.
In here. You could be a Roottrie Dreadful. It's possible,
Maybe.
Based off of what we've seen in here. So, in addition... So, yeah, here's these possible Roottrees. In addition to all this stuff that we have to figure out, it does tell us, hey, have you actually found all of their information?
Oh, so we got all the info for him. Interesting.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because you would think if this person's definitely a Roottree, then this person would definitely be a Roottree. And now I'm doubting that. Are we gonna have to like figure out, was there extra infidelity? Or maybe it's not infidelity, but it's maybe like, hey, you need to know who is the child actually from the relationship of infidelity.
Right.
Which is who. And so the thing that I found, basically we ended up like this, was where we ended the scene, and I went like this while moving around, and I saw this, and I'm like, oh no. No.
So these dotted rectangles finally make sense.
Yeah. What I don't get is like, how would that be possible? Because they're both from Gwyn, right?
But
So I don't know if we should
necessarily
start with these.
know that.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we should start with them. I feel like that's a good place to start.
Oh
God.
Wow.
So I was wondering about this. The thing that occurred to me is like, oh, there's actually, they tell us kind of where to look. Okay. The thing I was going to say is like, we have a bunch of new periodicals, and also like website entries have been updated, and in a lot of cases we have not like revisited those sources for.
Yeah, so I wonder if these are just, you need to find the previous version of guys like us. You need to find the previous version of Robbie Roottrie, right?
Right.
Oh boy. Okay. Really quickly, let's just make sure that there's no other surprises up here. I did not look after I saw those. No. Okay. So it is basically everybody here, and the 2 are ours.
Wait, before we get into that, let's look at our 2 missing entries that were in the top secret folder. Interesting.
Courtney May and Danny brother. Courtney. Oh right. We had just figured out her name. That's what it was. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should solve these 2. I think.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I think we can solve those 2. Courtney May Watts, who was Anonymom, I think.
Yeah. Should we look at the recap?
Yep, sure should. Okay. After putting together a tree of potential new Roottrees, Clark and Sam appeared at your door together. According to Clark, Ruby Spratt, the company's lawyer, was throwing away the DNA samples from Bonnie Hudson. These were intended to be used to test new potential Roottrees. Something doesn't sit right with Sam, and the 2 of them asked for your help. They're hoping that with your evidence, so we definitely need to dig into Ruby more, is what that tells me. They're hoping that with your evidence and understanding of the family tree, you could verify which of the people in the dotted boxes, alright, definitely that's what that means, are almost certainly legitimate Roottrees, very unlikely to be legitimate Roottrees, and which of them are too ambiguous. That one, oh, that's so dangerous. Too ambiguous to make a decision one way or the other. This is a, how do I know when I'm satisfied? For those that don't know, that is a reference to one of the best Steam forums post ever on the game Her Story. Additionally, with the suspicion on Ruby Sprott, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past have also been cast into doubt. A new section of the tree has been added for you to fill in. Right, so that is basically like, hey, she supposedly disproved Anonymom, which is like, maybe she didn't.
I do have a note that Courtney May is Anonymom.
Okay.
I also have a note about Corinne S.
This must be Corinne. This must be Corinne. This is the new original unobscured photo from the Newstime feature on Jane Doe Roottree and her anonymous mother. Oh wait, is this Anonymom then?
I also have a note about Beatrice Watts.
So is this Beatrice?
My latest notes are kind of focused on writing down names and dates that we might need to remember, so it's kind of hard to figure out why did I write this down.
Yeah, we stopped right when we saw this thing open up. I'm gonna say let's search Courtney May Watts. Courtney May Watts has oh right, wait, we searched this and didn't read this. Right? Or we searched this. Okay. Schwartz pulled up the local news station in Pennsylvania. Some of the people attempting to track down Anonymom were harassing her. Recently had to take leave of absences because people showed up at the car dealership where she works. Okay, well, we know what her job is. She is begging people to stop the accusations so she can get back to normal life. In every article you find, the journalist involved have independently verified that she is not Anonymom. Okay, so she is not Anonymom. Courtney May has a simple website with black text on a white background and a few images. From the view counter, you can tell you're not the only one. You can tell you're one of only a few hundred people who have visited it. She's not shy about claiming she's Jane Doe Roottree. As proof, she posted an unobscured cover from the time she was featured in Newstime. Okay, so that is Courtney May, as well as different pictures of herself that appear from a wedding photo. The website seems to be created in defense of her mother and targeted to public scrutiny. Under the headline, "The True Story of Jane Doe Roottree," courtesy of Courtney May Newton, formerly Watts. Courtney May writes, "Everyone has everything wrong. My mom approached the Roottrees before 5Ps." Yeah, we saw this in a magazine at some point. Before 5Ps was ever on the cover of Newstime. Nobody at the Roottree company took us seriously. They only listened to us after we appeared on TV and magazine. Hey, Kamika. The site has scanned a letter from the Ruby legal group to Courtney May's mother, Beatrice, in very polite terms. Okay, so Beatrice is her mom. It seems to accuse her of exploiting their name and orders her to leave the Roottrees alone. It's dated from a few weeks before 5P's article appeared in Newstime and seems legitimate. Courtney May also discusses her mother's magazine feature in more detail. So that's interesting. So we know for a fact that based off that letter, she's telling the truth. She absolutely contacted them long before the thing with 5Ps happened. So that means everything that was said about her stuff showing up after 5Ps was wrong. Okay. How difficult it was to convince anyone to tell her story. My mom didn't want to show her face because everyone in the media we approached assumed she was lying. Her story was just like 5Ps, but my mom's story was first. Mom was advised. Oh, right. It was a forum post that was like this, right? Mom was advised by Ryan and Cork to tell Newstime that. Ryan and Cork?
Cork?
That's a new name. See that? To tell Newstime that seeing 5Ps on the cover was what inspired her to go public. That's the only way Newstime would agree to it and help her get on TV. But it's not true. Our story was first. Courtney's defense continues, but much of it seems repetitive and useless. Towards the end of the page, she discusses the DNA test and defends her mother's character. My mom's amazing. She's the nicest woman in the world. She has diabetes and works at a department store, but still managed to help pay for my apartment in the big city so I could stay. Okay, we did also see this part. I got a degree in nursing, so I learned about DNA in college. We didn't think it is all a lie. Mom is 100% confident there's no one else who could be the father. Either they did the test wrong, or DNA is complete BS. So who is Ryan and Court?
I'm also unclear on how Corinne Schwartz is related to the Watts. To the previous.
Wouldn't Corinne Schwartz wasn't it that she got married? Corinne Schwartz. So let's look at this board, right? So Guy, and then this would be Schwartz, who works as a cashier, and I'm guessing this is her, and then this is her daughter, who's also this girl, who is Courtney Watts.
Wait, I thought Beatrice Watts was the mother of.
You're right. You're right. We'll look this back up. Okay. Back to searching. Let me look at our history just so I can remember what the hell we did. All right. Okay. The Anonymum worked as a manager at a department store. That's good to know. Got it wrong. Ooh. Huh.
Retail?
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Anonymum worked as a manager at the department store. His daughter's name was okay.
Oh, okay. So, Corinne S. vouched for her famous cover story.
Right, and so Corinne S. was a co-worker of hers. They both worked as secretaries at the Roottrees and left at the same time.
Okay, and this says they might have been lovers, which explains an arrow I drew.
Yes.
With a note that just says lovers, question mark. Okay, great.
Is there a Chud Roottree? I guess it depends, like, look, this is Guy Hudson. This is everyone that Guy Hudson cheated on his wife with. You know what? Also, we don't know if it's actually cheating at this point either, because it may have been, like, mutual. It's weird. All right. So this would be Beatrice Watts. So let's look for, because I don't think we did look for Beatrice Watts. Did I spell it wrong?
Seems right. Oh, Courtney May is now Newton.
Newton?
Courtney May Newton is her married name. Oh, we have the husband's name there.
We do, but he's not on the board.
I thought there was a spot to fill in his name.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
I'm a doofus. Jane Newton is her new name, so
right.
We might look for that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, well, and then her husband was Danny.
Damn. Okay. Great. Company records.
Yeah.
And two web search entries were missing.
Is this where they left the company? Yeah, this is where they were hired.
Ah, right. And they left together like a year or two later.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so Beatrice Watts, they were hired. And then, yeah, and then they left about a year or so later. Okay. So these are things, I almost wonder if this is like order that you likely would find these. So hold on.
Hmm.
So if I were to, what was I going to look here? I was going to look for something. I was going to look for, oh right, Ryan and Cork. Who the hell is Ryan and Cork?
Yeah. An unremarkable law firm based in North Carolina. Winston Ryan and Gregory Cork. Recently represented an Anonymom. Their website has a section about the case, including a scan of the DNA test results that proved Jane Doe Rootree was not a Rootree. Ooh, okay.
That's interesting.
Let's look at that.
The DNA test? DNA test that we got from the website says there's virtually no chance that Anonymous door was a Rootree. Lists the DNA was tested by DNA of Bonnie Kellogg, which we know is not true. Ryan and Cork, who were representing Anonymom, have confirmed that the sample sent to is definitely not go. Are we gonna have to find out if this is actually Bonnie's DNA? Oh my gosh! All right.
Who signed that? Can we zoom in on the name?
Adrian
Rowland. Okay.
Rowland. Okay. Let's look for this company.
Yeah.
Well.
Dynetico.
Dynetico is a DNA testing company. Relatively new phenomenon. 1999? Yeah, that'd be about right. When it first became popular to do DNA tests.
Right.
Fairly cutting edge. Standard. Yeah, they're using hair. Felix Fellows was a Rootree and used an example of how DNA tests look. Use it to provide some information about their process. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID. By David and Felix. Guy Hudson is dead, and there's no known DNA source for Guy. Listed as Jane Doe, wasn't collected in person. The left and right sets numbers, usually signatures, perfectly match. Huh. In Rowland.
I'm curious to compare the signatures on the document we just printed out.
Yeah, Rowland. I spelled it right. All right. This is the DNA test you got from Dynetico's website. Go to the website. Oh boy. All right, 15, 9, 12, 6, 8, 10. All right, well, we already know that it's not a match. So there's no way this is the same DNA.
Oh, so the Bonnie Kellogg DNA is not
the
same as Jane Doe.
Which they're saying is was Bonnie's, which we know is also not true. Huh. Okay. We still have two things we haven't found. That's not good.
Okay. I thought it was like this was telling. I'm trying to point with my mouse, but that doesn't work.
I know what you mean.
I thought this was telling us that the two clues we're missing are web searches, but it's not.
No.
It's not telling us anything about where they're from. Okay.
No. Which is the problem. But so here's the thing. This means if we find out she is a Rootree, he is absolutely not a Rootree.
Is that necessarily the case?
Yeah, because if she is a Rootree, oh, I guess no, you're right. Because if they did use the real Bonnie sample here, but they didn't use the real Bonnie sample here, then yeah, I follow you. Yeah. Man, okay.
Like, it could also be that they just completely botched his test. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not a Rootree. That just means they don't know, right?
All right, well, I don't know. She's not a Rootree. We don't have to solve that, though. But there's 2 more things for us to find for her.
Have we searched for Jane Doe Rootree?
Oh, I guess not. Yeah, that's a good call. Is this new? Yeah, this is new. All right. You want to read this one?
Sure. Anonymom was the second high-profile case after Felix Fellows of a potential new Rootree being added to the Clance Trust. Instead of claiming herself a Rootree, however, she claimed she'd slept with Guy Hudson and that her daughter was a Rootree. The accusation came during the height of Roottreemania and began with a brief TV interview. She appeared in the shadows with a disguised voice and promoted an article about herself in News Time. In the TV interview and the article, she referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Rootree. The name Anonymom was not self-inflicted. It seemed to spring up organically because nobody else knew how to refer to her. The days after the Newstime article, Sam Madsen publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, people became skeptical of her story due to the extreme similarity to Five Pieces. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job, secretary, and the time period, late 70s. Okay, so that is making me think that if she is a Rootree, then Five Pieces is not?
Yeah.
After fumbling the 5P story so publicly, the Roottrees were more prepared to handle all Clance Trust-related cases. Within a week, a DNA test proved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Roottrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with lawyers representing both Anonymom and the Roottrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Interesting. Immediately after the negative results were released, many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others, who had built up hope that history could repeat itself after 5Ps, felt duped. Many people suspected the whole affair had been a hoax to gain fame and money. Many demanded that Anonymom be held accountable, and some people even began to attempt to track down her true identity. The Rootree company felt pressured to put out a second statement to try to curb some of the backlash, even going as far as to say, though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe Rootree is not a Rootree, this doesn't mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Many people claim this high-profile anticlimax and public backlash was the beginning of the end for Roottreemania, since much of the fun was the shared fascination about secret Roottrees. Others think that, like any fad, it had just ran its course naturally. Regardless, this was the final notable event related to the release of 6 Pieces, and things soon went back to normal. Jane Doe Rootree has already been eliminated as a potential new Rootree by the company's lawyers, who are the ones verifying your work. Anonymom's affair does not appear on your updated Rootree.
That's technically not true.
Was
okay.
true.
Ooh, okay, so we only have one more. Oh, wait. We don't have the obscured news time cover, right? Do we have them as a periodical? There we go.
Nice.
Not only was the woman, some initial article.
Anonymamaguchi.
Wait, hold on. We have her, she was a nurse. Yeah, so now we just need to figure that out. But, all right. This. Determined the DNA test was not a Rootree. The article came before all that. Her 5Ps was confirmed to be a member of the Rootree family. In homage to the previous color, shows a photo of her daughter. Unlike 5Ps, she wished to remain anonymous. Both photos were obscure. Anonymous appears to have an affair with Guy. She and another woman were hired at the same time during a transition period, while many of the secretaries that had worked under Zach were already gone. She says that she and the other woman were both underqualified, as neither had typewriter experience. According to other staff members interviewed, Guy had his own requirement for hiring women. Guy liked to throw lavish parties, and the longer he was president, the more excuses he found. The anonymous woman posits that these parties mostly seem to be an excuse to have after parties at Guy's home, featuring much more alcohol and other substances. She claims she slept with him at one of these after parties. She confronted Guy when she found out she was pregnant. Guy didn't seem fazed, and they came to an arrangement. He paid her a significant amount of hush money on a recurring basis under the table. She used it to move away and start a new life with her daughter. When he died, the money stopped coming. She sued things that run their course. She went back to work at the department store and hoped that nobody would ever look too closely at how she paid for her house. She told everyone that her daughter's father walked out one day and never came back. She claimed after seeing that fantastic article in News Time, she realized that she wasn't the only one this happened to. Well, she never worked at the Roottrees company at the same time as 5P's mother, Joanna. Did we know his name? Mother's name? Yeah. All right, we had to, because we had to solve this.
Yeah.
Their stories seemed eerily similar, and she knew Felix was telling the truth right away. Article presented no tangible evidence of all the anonymous women at the time at Roottree, and all the payments were allegedly made in cash. However, using the details she provided, the reporters were able to reach out to the other women hired at the same time, who also remained anonymous. They successfully fact-checked both the timeline and confirmed the existence of the infamous after-parties. Huh. So, if nothing else, everything about this timeline matches up. Mm-hmm. Do we feel like it? So we have no other information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel like this is enough? And we know that the lawyer's been throwing out the DNA test, or the actual DNA samples, and we know that her DNA sample was first, because even the dates can corroborate that, right? Is there not a date on here? Well, no. Am I just making assumptions then? Date on the one? So what are these numbers? Oh, is this a test?
I did notice that these case numbers are much earlier.
Yeah. 2985 versus 30-something, right? That was what I had seen, apparently. Yeah, 3101. So, absolutely, they went through it before he did, which means that the Roottree legal that did all the announcements and everything like that lied about that too.
Look, can I look at both tests again?
You got it. Her test. Oh.
I'm just wondering, like, is there?
so let's look at these codes, right? D3S 1358 is a 14. D3S 1358 is a 15. There's no way this is the same DNA.
I'm just wondering, like, could we look at these Jane Doe numbers and see if they match up with Courtney?
Oh, that's a good call. All right, so 15, 16, 15, 16. Oh, man.
I guess, like, it seems like it's just a matter of the numbers being close.
Yeah. 15.
Which does not seem to be the case, 13, at least for 16, the first couple.
16.
But, like, that's only assuming that this Jane Doe is accurate.
Yeah.
Right?
We
don't know.
This in an image editor real quick.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to see these side by side.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm working on it.
Another thought I had, and, like, it's hard to know if this could necessarily mean anything, but it almost looks to me like the signatures are exact. As in, this one
like
could be forged.
Person, yeah.
But, like, you know, since it's a game, it could just be, reuse of an asset.
Right? Yeah. All right. Me. Wow, I've never opened MS Paint in Windows 11. It's very different. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Can we... Nope.
It's funny that we're seeing mouse overs in the game.
Yep, sorry. I'm getting very
No,
picky.
it's fine.
Okay, so for Robot Spacer, I'm going to paste this here, and then for chat, I'm going to save this and put it as a source while Robot Spacer looks at it.
Yeah, thank you.
But I will say, just precursory, looking at these numbers, they are very close.
Yeah.
All right, image.
There are definitely a lot of rows that
Extremely close.
seem pretty close. Yeah. So if these are a match, if these are close enough to be a match, then that would mean that both 5Ps and Courtney May are Roottrees.
Unless they bullshitted his stuff, right? If
Right.
nothing else, I don't want to make that assumption yet. It definitely means, though, that with as close as these are, she's definitely a Roottree.
Mm-hmm.
That's my feeling right now. I mean, we won't have to submit it. We can come back. But I feel good enough to go, she's a blood relative.
Yeah, I'm good with that too, and I think I would say the same for 5Ps.
I want to go through his evidence before we get to
the more
that.
we read, yeah, that's fair. But the more we read about 5Ps, like they said that, you know, the Roottrees confirmed that this was the correct DNA that they used for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other question I have is, what does it mean to be 100% sure that someone is a Roottree? Like, these seem like the only two scenarios where we have any DNA tests to look at.
Yeah.
So, like, for the other ones,
We're going to have to figure that out.
what is considered enough evidence?
It's when do you feel satisfied?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, who would we like to go for next? Are we going for the brothers? Are we going to go try and figure out 5Ps since we're at this point?
Yeah, let's see if we can dig up any more about 5Ps.
All right.
Since this is somewhat connected.
Oh boy. Okay.
I guess these do seem to kind of be in order, so we can guess that, like,
Yeah.
certain ones might be a periodical or a web search.
Oh, did we ever find all of his? Well, here, let's go here. We didn't find any of his music, right? Which is weird. They
I assume we've searched for 5Ps, right?
You know what? A good question. Let's go.
Was there a music periodical?
There was.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh.
Felix Fellows?
Oh, he had a lot of names, right?
Yeah, Dirty Davy, right?
Dirty Devil.
Davy Fellows, David Fellows.
Dirty Davy.
What? Okay. All right, hold on. Oh, I highlighted these and never searched them. I'm great.
That's fine.
No, that's not periodicals. All right.
I'd say we're off to a good start, Derek Ironbot.
Yeah, I think we feel comfortable about one of them at least so far.
Yeah.
You know what? No, that's not true. I feel comfortable about everything in that box, like all the people and the jobs and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
all right, Root of All Evil is 5P's debut album. According to various sources, the album was mostly material that 5Piece recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences in professional production. I thought I was going to say that we read this before, but I don't actually think so. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. After drawing a single, he announced he retained his infamous celebrity lawyer, Stevie Whitlock. We definitely didn't search that.
Yeah.
To date, does not seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which turns national news coverage. All right. Okay. So let's just do this in order. Uh-oh.
Allproblems.mp3. Hell yeah.
I'll go back to it in a second. The track is the only new song on the album. Subject matter is that the song is hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it, because those can afford not to be greedy. In the song, 5Piece triumphantly talks about taking the Roottrees' wealth due to it being his birthright and giving it to those who need it most. You find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website and download it for your records.
Great.
Lyrics. Oh, you know what's also interesting?
Yeah.
This doesn't say that the lyrics aren't important.
Yep.
Attention, Roottrees. This is 5Piece coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived.
Damn.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all your
Man, y'all are hypocrites, sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it, based on your family's creations. Yo, but looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick, and her two dads. My pappy's cleansing trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing, catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners, cause we didn't earn it, when all of your worth it came free with your name. You expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from heat without blame, but instead I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion.
I keep hearing a door knock. I'm like, is that this, or is that in the game itself, or?
That's actually extortion with your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets, the only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Board. Your hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's. Top off my pockets, please. Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty, and if you're suddenly not
Okay,
eager
that is
to
in there.
lend that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally.
I'm surprised this is not a snippet like the other one was. This is the whole song.
Right.
You say money is the root
Interesting.
of all your problems.
I read through this and the whole thing. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Although he does call out Portland a lot, so I want to look back through some of the other stuff from the Portland magazines.
Is the root of all your problems.
Wasn't there?
Take those problems away. You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle.
I can't remember if I can back out and it keeps playing, so I don't want to start it over again. Hi, on Secret Crush. Okay. Okay. That reminded me to look something up. Wait a minute. The other thing specifically said that all of Zach's secretaries left before Guy was there. Am I misremembering that? Hold on.
I remember the thing you're referring to. I don't remember exactly what it said.
Was in the actual article, right? It was in the censored article. Yeah.
Many of the secretaries.
So let's look,
not all.
Let's look at that
Just many.
timeline then. Um, 1977. When did Guy become...
President?
Joanna leave. Let's get back over here. Alright, so... Fellows, 76. Is that right?
Oh. Joanna Fellows no longer employed, 77.
Yeah, if Guy had only become the CEO in 79, or the president, excuse me, this seems even less likely. But it's still not enough. That's my initial, that's one of the gut things. Okay. Youths. Yeah, Portland. I don't think we could ever find anything for this, right? Yeah. But Ruby's here again. He still could be at the company, Kamika, but he supposedly wasn't doing the parties that led to this. It doesn't mean anything, right? It's very weird with the story being so close. And wait, actually, if the story was the same, it's outright false. Because if the story was saying that, hey, she was working for him, we know that's not true. Or if that she met him at the parties, we know that's not true because he wasn't doing the parties until he was the leader.
Right.
Again, still not disproof, but definitely makes me go, huh. Okay, where's our Portland articles?
I guess for me, a big question is like, if 5Ps stole Courtney May's story, like how did he get that info?
I have a feeling that it's going to be Ruby. I don't know why, right?
Right.
Ooh, hello, Duggerton. Okay, well, I don't think we found this before. Local article, apparently at the unveiling of the fountain, the mayor of Portland made a speech. Article calls... Oh, no, we did. This is where we found out Dirty JD.
Yeah.
So that's interesting then as well, because this puts Ruby at the same place as 5Ps.
Yeah. Can we search... Do we search Portland Telegraph for Dirt 8 AV?
I didn't mean to do
or
that.
5Ps for that matter.
Okay, same article there. Myriad of articles. Okay, where's hold on. What about Ruby? Was it 1T?
2Ts, I think. Could be wrong.
Okay. According to the article, Ruby grew up in foster care. Dude, 5Ps did as well, right? Could they literally been like foster care friends?
Right.
Project to help community, raise money to build a fountain called the Foster Fountain. Yes, so literally the Foster Fountain was her deal.
Right.
Okay. Do we have anything else that would make sense to search Ruby? Oh wait, we never found anything here for this, right? Because this was the school she went to.
Mm-hmm.
Speech somewhat controversial. Focus on wealth inequality. Huh. Didn't go over well with the predominantly middle to upper class audience. Huh. Is this all because she wants to take the money away from the Roottree family?
Yeah.
We might have a motive. The editor at the Herald,
yeah.
at the time said Ruby, unsatisfied with simply earning her place at Mideastern with a full scholarship, went on to earn a captive audience of her peers with a perfect GPA. It felt like the ideal occasion for a celebration of an undoubtedly incredible individual. However, by the end of her speech, there were many in the audience that wished neither of those events had transpired. It was a passionate attempt to use her soapbox to proselytize her fellow students and their parents into the religion of poverty. But unfortunately, with the silence, they remained unconverted. Interesting. All right. Mr. 5Ps, what have we not found from you yet? Maybe other periodicals that would make sense.
It sure looks like we're missing a periodical.
Yeah. There's a magazine that was mentioned in some of his stuff that I've missed. Was it... what was the article? What was the name of his freaking...
Did we search for all your problems in the music periodical? Or Portland? Oh, did we look up Stevie Whitlock?
Nope, sure didn't. Or probably looking at the Portland one. Still, she's managed to ratchet up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the 1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 long. Oh boy. Stevie argued that the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year. There was enough missing sandwiches to make the sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless.
None of this seems related to the Roottrees. Heck. I feel like we should search the Portland periodical more.
Okay. Do we even
but I don't have
Ruby's...
any specific suggestions. Ruby's what?
What's her law firm's name? What is the name of her law firm? Yeah, what's her law firm? Tell me the law firm name.
Ruby Legal Enterprises.
All right, I don't know where we found that, but I'll take it. Oh, did we ever search Root again? We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and that's where we found Ruby Legal Enterprises. All right. So what if we search this? No. This? I think we found this before. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Piketty apparently announced that they would be pulling their issue the following day after the Legal Enterprises threatened them. It's caused the issue to sell faster than any other magazine's history, though only for a day. Even people that would never have normally purchased it went out of their way to buy one, in case it wouldn't be normally worth something someday. Especially caused the eye of conspiracy theorists to assume that anything worth suing over would have been have to be hiding something. That's actually not unfair. Expert legal analyst from News Time states that it is unlikely that Ruby could have had this story pulled if it had gone to court. And Piketty likely got more eyes on it than it would have been if the Roottrees store just ignored the story. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. All right. Let's button here. No. Here. Whoop. Okay. Interesting. Clark and Ruby and her company, Ruby Legal Enterprises, were featured in Business Watch after the company took over the keepers of the Clan's trust. There's an article about the process that interviews both Clark and Ruby. Seems Ruby actually approached the Roottrees. Oh, I don't think we've ever searched for the Roottree riff either. But well before Roottreemania. An accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer, she offered to work for very little money. All right, Ruby. I have more and more doubts about Ruby as we continue. So long as she could be the public face to build her reputation. Family quickly jumped at this chance, as many family members often attempt to spend as little as possible. After looking over the Clan's trust more carefully than anyone had in years, Ruby came to the conclusion that Roottree's implementation was not legally sound, that there were constant legal challenges without some modifications. Uh-oh. The family decided to put her in charge of the trust. Uh-oh. Both legally and as a public face to prevent further issues. Her first move, sort of trial run before she was ever hired permanently, was to help build a draft public statement accepting Sam into the family, declaring that they began to address the Clan's trust. And she would like Sam because Sam did not have money throughout most of her life. This went quite well, and they hired her in April. Ruby Legal is now in charge of many financial aspects of the company. Uh-oh. Including verifying any claims of the trust and organizing the various charitable causes such as scholarships that have been set up in the name of the deceased. So she would have a motive to make the people that are actually Roottrees not get part of the trust. And people that are not Roottrees get part of the trust. Okay.
Have we seen the old version of this article?
Nope. Clan's trust was mentioned in the 40s and 50s. The first article you find from 43 mentions the fallible legal aspects of it. Huh. Interesting. I don't know why it's now this article, but that's fine. Oh, you know why? Because it's to reinforce, hey, there was nothing wrong with the original Clan's trust. Anything about Roottree Rift? Yeah, okay. Roottree Rift, what really happened with Roottree? The article mentions that nobody from Roottree that they reached out to was willing to go on record. Timeline events have been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and source on the inside. I bet you that source is Ruby. The only parts that are now new to you are the most vague parts, confirmed by an anonymous source. Huh. Timeline says the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottree. Oh, no, okay, no. We did see this. Yeah, Ron seemed too eager and personally motivated. Okay. So, what if we search here? Oh.
Indeed. So we're just missing a web search. Is there another album? Or wait, no, The Fountain of Youths is not an album.
It's not, but like, there's some stuff. Oh, Dirty Devil was the mixtape name. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because he was Dirty Davy.
Right.
Whoa, hey. Doug, what are you doing? Okay. Still feel like we're missing a magazine somewhere. Okay.
But we've completed the periodical section.
Maybe.
Like they're ordered by type of
Oh, I see
thing.
what you're saying. Yeah. Then what could be missing? we search Roottreemania? Okay. So, I don't feel like we have enough evidence, but I have a feeling he's not a Roottree.
Certainly what I'm leaning towards as well.
I say we come back to see if there's something else that we could be... Well, I guess here, let's just go through this. Just go through each one, see if there's something that jumps out. Because there's another article somewhere, right? Or
Right.
another search. Belongings. Let's search for this.
Do we ever look up that headline?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Wait.
Do we ever look
What
up
was
Dirt
his
Core?
actual real name?
David Fellows.
I don't think I've seen this. And 6, a lot of online discourse. I'd like to put out one of the songs. Yeah, he's his cousin that he didn't know. One of the songs, Heat. Dirt Core.
X-Files mentioned.
All right. We're going through his items. Right, that doesn't match up. I don't feel like there's anything that's new in there. This is the song we found. I was like, what just happened? Is it gonna open up the back? No, it's just closing. Okay. Nope, nothing. Next. This is interesting. That it immediately goes there. What is it ever last name is?
Who's?
Huh. Whenever they take a sample in person, they put the name of the person on the test according to their legal ID.
Oh. So, okay, so we know the ladder test is false then.
Yeah. Did he marry a cow? Did. Okay, she did. All right, I feel less bad about that. Whatever's on the legal ID. Yeah, but like we know that because like they wouldn't have done it anonymously. They put whatever's on the ID. Did we find them in anything else?
Portland?
No.
Did you try news time?
What about the doctor's name? What the hell's the doctor's name?
Yeah.
Adrian Rowland.
Did we ever do a web search for him?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Whitlock. Research MTV. Nothing found for MTV. That's just the general internet today. Well, evil.
Oh, what the heck are we missing?
That's weird. Oh, that's because this magazine went under. This 49.
Spelled Berthe wrong.
You're right. Alright. Let's keep going. Next, alright, so nothing there. Courtney May. Yeah, before 5Ps. Still, same thing. These things are... Alright. I feel like he's not, but we'll have to come back to him until...
What about his mom? Did we...
Didn't have anything to... We can search?
Like, did we check... Well, I guess it's probably a web search. I'm sure we searched for Joanna Fellows and Robertson. Yeah. All right. So here's another question. Have we been given information about what happens next in the game? Like,
no.
Do we need to, like, confirm or reject a certain number of people before we get feedback?
I think we have to literally guess on all of them.
Okay.
Because it says you have 12 to identify.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Start from the left. Good Mr. Frank.
I feel like we should go back up to the
brothers.
The brothers. Yeah. I would love to dig into this more. Oh god, there's so much.
Hold on, let's just see if it's this. Guys Like Us, 53 film. The words that not. It's not. Oh no. Okay. Did we ever get the new book?
A new book.
6 pieces?
Oh.
Oh. I don't see it here. That's weird, right?
Oh, it says these sections, the sections that were unfamiliar to us, have been added to our notes.
But where? Wait, no.
I don't know.
Something's wrong here. Just the name's not exact? Like, we should have something for that book based off of what that's saying, right?
Right. When it says added to your notes, it wouldn't mean the actual notebook, would it?
That would be weird, but we can check. No, this is just... This is where I started, and we... It's the notable events. Huh. That seems weird.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's got to be in there somewhere. I notice you can filter up at the top, it looks like.
Where?
Does that help us? Those icons at the top. Next items. Oh, 6 pieces.
Oh, why was that not showing up in the main list?
I don't know. We definitely looked at it before.
Yeah. We grabbed the photo. All right. And a guy. All right. Dan's farm supervisor named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met. Worked as one of Guy's secretaries. No, yeah, okay, this is how we started. Section with Sam. Who's Beth? That's how we found out about Bess. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, that doesn't really help at all.
Have we looked at new versions of web searches for, like...
Check for, like, Ronald and them?
Oh, I guess it's showing update for Gwyn Roottrees already.
Which is weird because it doesn't mention him at all. Wait, okay, hold on. Let's see what this is. Let me stop skimming. Biggest role, yeah, she died in Paris. She was 67. And Christmas
Look up
Mission.
Christmas Mission and Guys Like Us again.
They were going to re-release it on VHS. Hmm. Who was their dad? The dad's not on here, right? The dad's name. The Wild Bill? Is that the dude?
Walter Forsythe?
Oh, that's right. It's storming in there. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought it finished raining here. An actor known for his role in Fortune Favors the Grave. I don't know that we've searched that before.
Hmm.
Is that the same article? It's not. Interesting. Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Did not make an appearance at Gwyn's funeral. That's fine. Because of his absence, there are rumors online he must have already died. According to a reporter that tracked him down, he's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, and is in fine health. He went on record saying, I think it was Mark Twain who said, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Seems appropriate today. The few years I spent with Gwen were just one stop along a very long and complicated journey that has been my life and career. The last time we spoke was when I signed the divorce paper. Jack asked me to never contact her or the kids again, or respected those wishes. They never reached out to me either, even as adults, so I have to assume that some idea of why she hated me so much and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. I wish them well, and I'm sorry for their loss. We've all been strangers for 40 years, so I can confidently say that who wouldn't have wanted me to be there. How old is the youngest? You know?
I don't.
Hey, they filled in one of the spots.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Interesting. I guess let's search for them. Right. Partially featured the book.
All right.
Oh. Oh, come on. Please tell me I don't have to do this. Even so, it did sell modestly well, and there have been talks for a remake.
Guys Like Us remake.
Yep.
Oh, damn it.
The Guys Like Us remake has been discussed a few times on a website about the upcoming films called Movie News. That in a second. Rumors that Cameron Diaz, Linda Fiorentino, and Chris O'Donnell. According to leaked news, the remake's been put on indefinite hold due to its director, Ron Roottrees, dropping out in wake of serious medical condition. Huh. Okay, it's just that website. All right. What was their studio name?
I'm trying to find my notes on them.
It was RR something, right?
Yeah. I could try to search for Ron Roottrees.
Yeah. On drop from the title. His brother made amends. Ron and Business Watch. RR Production. Okay.
Okay.
No production projects listed in development. Okay. we find out his wife's name? Oh, interesting. They have the same, all of their articles are the same.
Okay.
All right, well, I don't remember how we found her name, but let's look her up.
What was her name?
It's,
Right.
Green, I think. Right? Yeah, with an E. Laugh Lounge. A month ago, fundraiser was called The Best Medicine to help find a cure for Huntington's disease. The website she released a statement. Up until recently, I didn't know anything about Huntington's. In the last few months, this is what he got sick with. I've gone from knowing nothing about it to learning more than any one person ever should have to. Yep. Until less than a decade ago, it was impossible to predict if someone was susceptible to Huntington's had the disease. But due to advances in medicine, tests have been developed. Hopefully, this increased awareness is the first step to finding a cure. Oh boy. Huntington is a neurodegenerative disease that mostly causes memory issues and uncontrollable movement in the limbs. For symptoms onset, between 30 and 50, those affected by Huntington's typically live another 15-18 years after the symptom course. No cure. Hey, Basram. Huntington is passed genetically from parent to child.
But I was wondering. So it was Ron?
It was, Robert? Right?
Robert.
That supposedly got sick?
It was about the Guys Like Us remake, right?
Yeah.
Ron.
So.
Oh, but
Ron might not be a root tree.
oh yeah, okay. It is Ron's wife that was learning about Huntington's disease. So if we find evidence about someone near to Ron that also had Huntington's disease, then that might be his actual mother.
Cannot be passed on recessively, meaning it cannot skip a generation. And his quote-unquote father is in his 70s. In other words, if someone has a mother or father with Huntington's, but they themselves did not receive it from a parent, their children will never have it.
Okay.
Ron's not a
so
root
he
tree.
can't be a root tree then.
He's adopted or... That's wild. He was almost the president. Okay. I still would like to find the other articles in case it helps elsewhere.
Periodicals?
Yeah.
Ron Roottrees. Search all the periodicals. Seems
we
like a
search
good...
this for his dad, right? Or quote-unquote dad, right? Wild Bill Williams? First mention of role under his real name. I'll grab that. Interview. Just mention her by name. You can determine context. He's talking about Gwen.
Yeah, I remember looking at that.
With another actress. Who was his other movies? Fortune Favors the Grave. Yes, what was the movie? No, Fortune Favors the Grave. What, William Forsythe? No,
Got
it's
the
Williams.
S.
I've already forgotten his actual name. Walter Forsythe. Marilyn Monroe? Surely not. No, okay. Oh, have we not searched? We haven't searched the brother yet, have we? His embezzlement was arrest. Yep. Now he returned to the U.S.
I've looked at this.
Yeah. What was the movie that he met Gwen? I feel like we've seen another actress's name somewhere, and I can't remember where. Guys like us? Okay.
Leslie Florence and Harrison Lane.
Hired from Hollywood after a co-starring role. Released.
Died of Huntington's.
Yeah, okay. So that helps us. Oh, that was the last thing. Yeah,
Great.
he is not a root tree. I feel good about that. Which would mean that he's a root tree. So, and it's because for those that are not following along, the reason why he's not a root tree is it means that Gwen is not his mother. Which is interesting because that means that Gwen was doubly a good person. She raised him as her own, especially after divorcing his father. So good on her. All right, I feel good about that.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
I thought that was going to be significantly harder. Where else would you like to go now? Or do we
I'm
go?
open to whatever.
I think we go as far back in time as we can in hopes that we like find a path forward through the rest of them.
Sure, makes sense.
Oh well, we only got one thing from Frank that we need to find. All right.
What do we know about him already?
He was the construction guy from World War II, right?
He's not ringing a bell.
So he returned from World War II. He started a construction company that only hired vets.
Oh, I found my notes. Yeah, okay.
Died in 96 at 74. Oh, wait, that would mean he was born in 22? Would that match up for... Yeah, it probably would. Yeah, for Elias and Bess, it probably would.
So, what would be the question mark with... So his dad was a Elias Roottrees.
Yeah.
So the only question mark would be if that's not really his dad.
Who was the other war vet? There was another one, right? It was that one. Lauren's husband, right?
Lauren's husband.
Where's that? What was the first book? Where's the first book?
The 5 Pieces book?
No, well, maybe.
There was a book called 5 Pieces, right? Or am I mistaken?
What's weird is I feel like there are things missing here, and I can't. Where's the older book?
Yeah. I feel like some
evidence.
stuff.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Lauren Roottrees. Okay. Lauren Roottrees wrote. That's a different book name. Is that book name?
Powerlord said that does bring up the question of what happened to the child Gwyn was carrying when they divorced, because wasn't it mentioned she was pregnant with her second child at the time?
Yeah. That
would
was
have been
Ron.
her actual son.
Yeah, that was the actual child. Yeah.
Robbie.
Oh.
Nice.
When revisiting Lauren's book, oh man, we gotta research everything again. Oh my god. There's a single passage that focuses on potential affairs in her immediate family. Everything new.
Okay.
An entry entitled Cruelty, written in 1963, focuses on the relationship between her mother and her father. Okay, this would be relevant to Frank. Well, it only offered redundant information during your previous investigation. It mentions the subject of affairs, maybe more useful this time around. I'm no stranger to true love. Jacob and I married at an age that most deemed unfit for marriage. He was also enlisting at an age that most deemed unfit for war. We had no choice. We had in my heart that our marriage was one for the ages. He and I would still be together today if not for Okinawa. That was nearly 20 years ago, but there is an emptiness in my soul. Hey, Werblake. I do not understand my contemporaries. So many of the girls I went to school with have taken multiple lovers. So many of my girlfriends' husbands have been unfaithful. If I'm to remain true to the ghost of a man, with no chance of physical reciprocation, no potential for long conversation, how could it be so hard to love someone you can reach out and touch? Someone you can joke with? I have not had to deal with such madness at home. My parents are a perfect match in the worst way. My mother's cruelty is a perfect fit for my father's general spite. Wow! In turn, top status enables her incessant need to gloat and feel superior. Grown up with the cruelty and disdain for others my entire life. Even my family remains unspared. They make fun of my grandpop and his family sayings, blood is thicker than syrup, but nothing's thicker than Elias. My grandma Gwyneth's lisp and dear kindness is a weakness. Elias is Elias, please remember Sam. Sam? Not even our family's maladies and religion go unmocked. I'd only put one eye in miracle? I can say without a doubt in my mind that my parents have never had eyes for anyone outside their marriage. Self-centered to Lucas Gray. Interesting. Because if that's true, that would mean all of this is false. Like, none of these are Roottrees.
Right.
Do we believe that?
I mean, it certainly seems inconclusive, right?
Yeah. Guess we can't, like...
Oh, that's all the evidence. We've seen all the
I don't know that we
evidence
can
now.
say that, right?
Yeah, I would definitely lean towards it's impossible to prove.
How do I know when I'm satisfied? I guess we can always come back and reconfirm if anything else leads to it, right? So... Oh boy, miracle. Okay,
Mary Beth Quaker.
Oh, right. This is what... We already kind of had feelings on this. I already felt that Stuart was likely not his kid. And that Mark was.
Okay.
Right? But I don't know what we were basing that off of. Oh boy. Stuart only has one other thing to find. What does Mark have to find? A
Well,
lot.
Mark was Crocodile
He
Clementine.
sure is.
Right.
All right. Stuart's got one thing. What can we
Oh,
find for
wow.
Stuart? Boy. Okay.
I wonder if we looked in music periodicals
Yeah,
for.
let's look. Let's just start from the top. Came to Butler County a few times, played religious hymns. Oh. I don't think I've seen this before.
Yeah, it seems new.
Miracle Congregation welcomes with open arms. Mentions the church leader was moved when he heard Mary Beth's recording of one of his favorite hymns. That was on the Sparrow. Reached out to her personally. I have a very difficult upbringing, and there's no secret about my own eyes that have always been a source of struggle. The song is about overcoming sadness and hardships through Jesus. If God can find a way to watch over every sparrow, he can certainly watch over those made in his image. My family's fortune does me no good as a man of the Lord. Much better spent spreading his word, and I've felt a kinship with Mary Beth ever since I heard her voice. When I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could. When was this? What year was this? 49. Okay. The Bible's full of adoptions, from Moses to Esther. Spending your life taking care of those helpless and to help themselves is incredibly noble. She and her son are welcome to stay. Okay, so she had not met him by the time she adopted the first kid. Yep. And now in the second visit, she has sons. And that's the other one. I say he is not a root tree.
Yeah.
I say crocodile is a root tree.
Yeah. Yep.
Which then means... Oh, we don't have to guess for the rest of them. Great. I
Yeah,
feel good about
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Great.
Me too.
I don't want to talk about David Fellows again. I don't feel good about figuring out what the hell's going on with David Fellows. There's something we're missing, and I don't know what it is, and it's bothering me.
Just one thing we're missing?
Just one thing. We'll come
Man.
back. We'll come back to you. Okay.
We got everything
Gotten
here.
everything for James.
What about
Everything for James and Robert. Okay.
Okay.
Huh. We probably got to figure out about years, right? We took over in 84. Wait, look, who are these folks related to? It's Baroa and Guy. Farm for a period starting around 68. Secretaries, Queen Elizabeth, Antonelli's. That is where their mother gets involved with, is Antonelli's, right?
Hmm.
I think that's correct. Yeah, chef signature. Did Fry die? 3 years. Yeah, this is probably important. Robert is 3 years younger than James. When did they have their kid? Okay, so Guy became... Yeah, so Guy was not leader at that time. Yeah.
Christine Farrow down below.
Yeah.
Okay, hired to 76.
She could have been there. Yep, still could have been there.
Yeah, and then she leaves in 78.
Yeah. Okay. So 70, at least 78. So we need to know when... I already forgot. Robert was born. Or I guess we need to know when both of them were born, really, at this point. Because it's a 3-year difference.
Well, I mean, if they're 3 years apart...
One of them
then...
can't be by default at that point.
Yeah.
The question is which. That's the problem.
We're looking at something where one of them was saying something about his dad.
Oh, that's the recipe. Yeah, Robert, blah blah blah. James answers most of the questions. Farron was a chef.
Was a chef. Oh,
Hey Max, how you doing? Yeah, this game is fantastic.
Chef. So the older one is not. Is what it sounds like to me.
Okay. Robert was born after she was no longer a secretary.
How long after?
That's a very good question, unfortunately.
Was it less than 9 months?
I guess, hold on. Can we just search Robert Garland? Like, is there information? Okay, 98. So can we search for his mother? So his son was already alive in 78. And she left in 78. So the younger one cannot be a Roottrees. Because they only had one son at that time. Does that make sense?
But how? I don't know. I still have question marks. How old is the son at that point? The older son.
I don't think it matters. Whether or not he's a Roottrees or not? That's a good question. Yeah.
Because like if he's 2 or 3 years old,
well,
and then they have another kid,
but she's no longer
less than 9 months later.
In less than his own 3rd month, he keep an eye on his son. No, so he's already got a son. What's the mother's name? Hold on. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Christine Ferroa. Oh, wait. What was was Antonelli's?
Mm-hmm.
78? So they met before she was a secretary.
Okay, so it mentions
so in
now
78
she has a bun in
she's
the
pregnant.
oven.
Yeah.
She's a secretary, but went back to delivering produce on the weekends.
So she was already pregnant in 78 when she was leaving. But it still will only be her first? Yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise he would mention
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah,
so
okay, so the first is guys.
He's a Roottrees.
Yes.
He's not a Roottrees.
Yes.
I feel
Great.
good about that.
Yes.
Maybe I don't have the names mixed up. Robert and James? James was the older one, right?
Yep.
Robert, who's 3 years younger than James. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I feel good about that.
And left has to be older.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh boy, this one is gonna be.
Yeah, that one's tricky. That might be inconclusive.
Maybe we'll see. What do we got here? Oh, okay. One thing that we have not
one
found.
thing.
Okay. Is there anything in here that we've not searched for before? Oh, what was the company she was working for in the U.S.? Let's look her up again. I've already forgotten. What was the Xinyu's sister's company? What's her sister?
Let me find my notes here.
She had taken another name. What was the company name? Oh my god.
Xinyu... Long tie.
in the 70s. Okay, what was the...
I have notes about Piece of Asia and tranquils.
Tranquils, right? I remember that. 20 years or so. Search results not particularly helpful. When you search sort to find the oldest articles, however, one of the earliest mentions, some 79, it's not very unusual because it doesn't involve Lang Tai's business. The article details a new, at the time, medical industry. In vitro fertilization was brand new, barely a year old. After the first IVF... Hey, Tolk, how you doing, buddy? You finished your cooking? What'd you cook? 79 stands out, very unusual. So they got into IVF. Apparently the time was Long Hambo and his young daughter and her husband could not have children. Okay, right. And this is where we found out that they were faking stuff. Yeah. Oh, well, good. Okay. But I think that matches up, right? Because he was out there having business. She could not, the people that wanted a family contacted this company that couldn't actually do anything. And they believed that the company that whistleblower believed that they were doing it just to hide infidelity, which would mean she should be a Roottrie. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense.
But I agree it's likely, but is it necessarily definitive? I would say
so. Their affair was definitely
prove.
Definitive. We went through and proved that at the time. Like the affair absolutely made sense. And for her to cover up, and that's like she wants her to be her second in command. But instead has her nephew. I feel comfortable about it, but if you don't, we can leave it blank and go through it again.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
If you're convinced, I'm totally
I think so.
fine with that.
Let's just read through this again. We got
Like,
the
like I said,
information.
it seems likely.
Why is this related to 81? Is that just like when she was born, I guess?
Oh, there's notes about the
Dove. Hey, Lamari. Did I get Korean fried chicken yesterday? I did. It was very good. Lamari has debuted her first music video of an original song today. It is very good. She's very embarrassed about it, and so much like with me, I demand that everyone go and watch and give her all the kudos because she did very good work.
Where's the link? I don't see a link in chat.
That's, you know what? Yep. Hold on, I can make that happen. Lamar, you haven't posted it yet. I will link to your VOD, Lamar. You can't stop me. I'm gonna timestamp and everything.
Let's find out. T-O-L. Okay. K-H.
Hold on.
Enter.
Hold on. There we go. There.
Nice.
Can't stop me. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Susan Ford was there as the translator for a while. I guess it'd be right around Roottrees, China then, wouldn't it? Right? 79. And then yeah, 79. Yeah, I feel very comfortable saying that she is a Roottrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Lamari, no throwing up. Oh.
Missing one.
Same thing, so. Hey, Soul. All the folks from the Calamity Crew are here. What was
We look at the Transmunicipalo.
Sonya? That's his mother.
We looked up Sonya, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's his mother's new alias, right? Yeah.
But we eventually found something.
What
for
is
her.
Flavio's last name is Suarez. We found a lot of stuff for her.
It just seems odd that it's not showing up there.
I guess it's not related to him somehow. Dating Ashley York. Oh wait, was this? Nope. Okay. Only mention of him in there as well.
Can we look at the tree again real quick?
Yep.
So, Sonia Alves, media mogul, Edson Suarez. Did we ever look up Edson Suarez?
Oh yeah, he was the mayor. He was the guy that was all over the place. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So this is the name you want us to search, game. Okay.
Oh.
A few times. He's extremely private about her identity. Once used her connections to have a reporter fired from a rival network. Saying that she was shut down to a story when she's doing her personal life, including her marriage at 73, was not of her own choice. Huh. Essentially, she had her husband forced upon her as a child bride at the 15. It doesn't really change much about what we. Okay, that was the last thing.
That was it.
Like, I don't have any reason at all. So that she definitely did not like Edson based off of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that makes it even more likely that he's and we don't have anything that even gives doubt to him being a Roottrees at this point. Like, all the timelines matched up. The fact that he did not like, or that she did not like her husband, and her husband was a malicious dictator. The fact that they can't say where she got her money from. I feel good about saying that he's a Roottrees.
Okay.
Is there anything that you saw that doubts or makes it not seem solid?
I mean, ultimately, it comes down to like what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't know what the game considers to be the criteria
Like,
for definite.
Not, yeah. I think so. I think in this case, it's like finding inconsistencies, right?
Mhm.
Or something
Like
that
I would
outright
say that
contradicts.
I would say that it seems likely he is a root tree.
Yeah, I wish this appears to be a root tree blood relative, appears to not be a root tree blood relative. I don't know. This was just like, fuck, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm fine with doing the check mark because otherwise, like, I don't know what
else we'd look.
anything would be a check mark unless we
Yeah.
have like just a mountain of evidence or whatever.
All right, so we have Susan's kids. I don't want to think about that.
I need a quick bathroom break. Should
you
I
got
just?
it. You know what? This is a good place to pause the VOD anyway. So I'm gonna end the VOD here. We're gonna go on break for 5-10 minutes. I'm probably gonna go get some cookies. And we'll be right back. If you're watching live, stick around. We'll be back shortly. If you're not watching live, please feel free to check something else out on the channel. I don't want to say this and jinx this, but hey, it seems like we're getting close to the end of the Roottreemania.
We're very close.
Oh god.
To the next section of gameplay.
Until it opens up, is like, oh hey, there's like 5 or 6 that can fit down here, and you got to solve those too. God, I hope not. You know what? I'm having a good time, so that's fine. All right, everybody, please be safe and be kind to one another. We'll be back shortly. Bye bye.